Yes, South African government is the cause of these problems. Yes, you heard right. Don't go away. Be right back. Yeah, so I said it. Yes, South Africa is the problem. The African government is the problem of the problems in South Africa. Why do you say that? I say it because what happened in South Africa is that the government of South Africa made this thing started in 2002, 2003, 2004, where they tried to get votes, and I can prove it because there's a lot of history behind it, where they didn't worry about the law that we have now. That law was there. The law that no foreigner was supposed to make business and to put Spaza shops, that law was always there, and the government didn't implement it. The South African government didn't implement anything of it, and that's why our people are struggling. That's why our people are struggling. Our people are crying out, because for 30 years, as the government was in power, they never addressed this problem very quite frankly, and also they never addressed this problem actually perfectly or properly, the word you can use there. And now our South Africans are sitting with all of it. You see Spaza shops of these illegally foreigners. Now they are breaking two laws of South Africa. First of all, they're not allowed, according to the immigration law, no foreigner is allowed to put on informal businesses. That means Spaza shops, what they're doing now, what they have been doing in the neighborhoods of South Africa. They putting on Spaza shops, you have the people creating their own supply chain. I'm going to come there. And also they are making money out of the South African economy without no tax. Now I'm going to explain to you, and as I will talk to you, I will show you videos also on how terrible and in what problems South Africa is sitting when it comes to illegal foreigners. And these foreigners will not go away. They will not go away easily, and that's why people are striking and doing the best they can do to cry for help. But what the mistake that the government did, I think it's in 2023, 2024, they did rounds. Now everything didn't start in 2026. It started in 2024, 2023. I saw it. I've been following the news, and I saw how they came to Bellville and how they started in KZN. They go to shop to check. Listen here, to check if the people comply to the law by registering their business. Now, no. You see here, those people were not even supposed to have businesses, but at that time they complied with the people and saying, "Hey, you must come." You guys remember? You remember when Cyril said they must come, and when we found out that 90% of the Spaza shops doesn't even have any registration to the government, and then the government give them was now I think it's 2 or 3, 4 days to come and register their business. Now this is the same issue that we have, and that's why I'm saying it's the government problem. So the people tolerate the government for so far. So somehow they have waited, but even at that time, the government was wrong, because they were not even supposed to give the foreigners an option by registering their businesses. They were not supposed to even trade and do Spaza shops, because how come the law is changing now, and now the foreigners must leave, but the foreigners were supposed to leave way back when they started it? So clearly you see who is the culprit that allowed this mess to be so severe in South Africa as we speak. And they have now been so reluctant. They've started with a lot of drugs. Yes, there's a lot of cases where they've started with drugs, giving children drugs, old expiring food. There was an incident, I think it's last year or the year before, where kids were died of one Spaza shop, 2 Spaza shops, where kids died of food, of sweets. I think it was sweets that one of the Spaza shops gave to them, and they died. The children died. And all of these cases is a build up and until today in 2026. And now you come and tell me it was not the government's problem, it was the government's problem from the first time. From the very second this whole mess is created by them, this whole mess, they didn't, firstly, the borders, they didn't secure the borders well. That is a fact. We can say it. We have a lot of news. You can go and read newspapers. You can go and do your research. They have done a lot. They have messed up a lot in this case, in this scenario, because they haven't protected the borders like they were supposed to do. The people that was doing the work, they didn't do it properly. The people still came in, jumped over fences that was not well protected and well guarded, but the people got money, they got paid for it, and over the years they have left it. It became a norm for someone that comes from Zimbabwe, someone that comes from Mozambique, someone that comes from Malawi, even someone that comes from Bangladesh, Pakistan also. And you have all these foreigner countries that comes and run away from their countries because their countries have a lot of social problems. And now you sit with people that are social, on a social form, they are already disrupted, their lives already. So they come and search for a better life. They don't come search for investment. Now, this is another thing I want to say. Now, the law also states that whoever comes to do business in South Africa, there's a foreigner, it's supposed to invest 5 million rand. 5 million rand into the economy. And then, by law, they can run businesses and they must employ South Africans only. That is the part of the 5 million. And many of the power shops have mafias. What do you call a mafia? You call somebody that has a supply chain. And another thing that the government allowed, and it's fact, you can go and read and see in the reasons. The government allowed these guys to make food. They didn't tell the government, but these guys got so reluctant. They have their own supply chain in a foreign country. They send their ingredients, and then they employ more illegal foreigners in places like shops, in abandoned warehouses where they produced. And you can go and see. If you don't want to believe me, go search the internet. You will see the police have found many of these guys creating their own food, creating their own manufacturing food. They even went so far. There was cases, and you guys remember, there was cases where they will cheat with always period packages. The packaging was also fraud. They would put chips in of Samba, of Lays, but it's not a Lays, the original Lays. And they would do all of these things over these years, and we haven't forgotten about that. And now you sit here with a government that says, okay, the citizens now, we've heard your cry, but they have made the mess. The government has made the mess. And now you sit here with a government that have allowed all these things to happen. And now that where the people are at the point of breaking now they take action. So who is the blame here? The government of South Africa is the blame here. The ANC government is the problem here, and they don't want to accept that. And there's nothing about anything about lies. It's the truth. You can go and search on this internet here, and on this platform wherever you find, you can go and search the history of this illegal immigration making business in South Africa. So they have seen the lawlessness in the country. There was no the laws was not really produced and to protect the citizens of the, and it took now for the 30th of June and for March to come and to stop and destroy this thing, and this pandemic I'm talking about. So this is now a pandemic, and that's why the people are not going to be silent, because it's a very deep thing, and I believe, and mark my words, I tell you today that South Africa will not stop until all of the foreigners are stopping doing business. Now, for years they've come away with this stuff, and now all of a sudden they see, yo, wow. And here's the thing that is very funny. They create all of this supply chain. They make their own chips, own food. It doesn't go through the proper systems which is in South Africa. They have their own stuff. There's no health inspecting on if the food are approved to manufacture, because they create their own stuff, because they have their own people. They bring more people. This is what they do. They bring the guy in the Spaza shop, and then the guy that's working in the manufacturer that they hire in the manufacturer, and this guy are making the stuff, and they can go and fetch, and then you get the drivers and all that. So it's like a supply chain that they've created their own supply chain in South Africa, with their own branding, with their own stuff. And then another shocking thing, the money that they create goes back to them. It doesn't go into our economy. It goes into their bags, and they send the money to their families, because their families are in trouble. They leave their wives and children there to get a better life. So they don't come here to invest. They come here to look for something that they want better. That is why they are here. And none of them, the Spaza shops, have their own shops. It's people that give them shops. Manufacturers, suppliers that give them shops and say, I'm going to give you a shop there, you're going to go there. And it's been happening for years, for years. And it's been in Bellville, it's been all over in KZN, all of these dark spots. And that's why you see the people are angry, and they get angry because the people are not supposed even to make business anymore. And that's the problem that this government has created. And now the government do not want to stand for what they've done. They've done the country wrong. They've destroyed almost the future of the children, and the people are fighting. So if you want to wonder why up and down you check xenophobia, if you want to blame somebody, you don't come and blame. Don't blame the South Africans. They are fighting to uphold the law that the government have broke, and they even protect their own people. So the blame game is on them. That's why I created this special broadcast of why I say who's the problem, and they have created this pandemic. This is a pandemic, guys. You can see every day our young girls married. I saw a guy that is married 32. He said he was 32. He married a young South African teenager. He married her just to get citizenship in South Africa. That's unlawful. All of you know it's unlawful. But then you come and say, oh, South Africa is xenophobic. So it's because of the government. By that time, 4 years ago, the government didn't worry. For a fine check, I want to say to you, the DA also came into Cape Town, and they came and checking documents. They didn't even worry. They knew there's a law that says no foreigner is supposed to have small businesses, but they let it get. So who is the guilty party here now? It's not the people. It's our government. It's the government of South Africa is the guilty party here. And that's facts. This is not a community anything. It's facts. You can go and do your research, watch the videos. This fight has been going on for 12 years now. And the people are tired. And there will be any excuse for the government in all of them to hide anymore. And they must make their pandemic that they created in South Africa. The South Africans are saying, we are not stopping. We are not stopping until you get it right. And I want to plead for people, for you guys out there. I want to plead for you. Support whatever our leaders now, our March and March leader, Interdula, support them. They are fighting for you and for the children. They are not fighting for their own. If no one is going to fight this government, it's not going to worry. If we didn't stand, if the South Africans didn't stand up for this issue, I tell you today, before everyone, this country would have been decolonized, and you would have not have a normal South Africa. This whole country would have been a country of all nations, because of what the mistake that this government has been doing. The people are not trusting them. Trust me, the people are not trusting them. They don't care what they say. They reflect, oh, I'm going to do that. No, we don't worry, because clearly they have proved that they mean nothing to the South African community. So we wish, we hope also that this government will pick up their socks and stop taking the blame game on the citizens, and that they must sort out their problems. There is currently now a cabinet reshuffle about Cyril We don't care about that. You can put any person there. It's how you do things. And the people of South Africa are tired. They say they're tired. They had enough. And so I just wanted to come in the short video to tell you this is why we say that the government is the cause of this pandemic in South Africa. The government of South Africa is the cause of this, and we are not afraid to say it. The people are not afraid to say it. This is what the people are saying. The government is responsible for the pandemic, for the illegal foreigner pandemic in South Africa. They are the ones responsible for the situation, the tough situation. As you can see the videos, as you can see the images, people are just doing what they want to do. Bellville was packed. Bellville, you couldn't even walk in Bellville. Bellville, you see 15 people sitting on a square, on a 5 meter square feet. They're sitting, selling, and everybody comes here. You know, if you wanted to take a country forward, you don't come and do retail. Spaza shops will not take the country forward. Manufacturing, and what they dedicate their own manufacturing. So there was no really jobs created. The money that they got, they took the money and take it over to their countries. So that's why we have been struggling, because the money wasn't recorded, no tax compliance, and that's the reason why we are in South Africans are needed from. But what we say, as I say, from the people's voice, the government is responsible for the pandemic in South Africa. I want to thank you guys for joining, and I want you to share, like, and comment, and let us join the conversation in the comment section. Tell me what your thoughts is. Let us bring our voice to heard and make sure that our government take responsible. The government of South Africa take responsible for what they have done to the country. I'll see you next time. Mr. J, I'm out. Bye bye.